My girlfriend threw a party while I was burying my mom. I don't even know where to start with this. My mom died 8 days ago. Sudden stroke at 56, gone before the ambulance even arrived. I've been operating on autopilot ever since, just trying to get through each day. For context, I'm Matthew, 30, software engineer at a fintech company in Seattle. My girlfriend Riley is 27, works as a bar manager and does the Instagram influencer thing on the side. We've been together for 2 years, living together for 6 months in my apartment. The funeral was yesterday in Oregon, where my parents live. I'd driven down 3 days earlier to help Dad and my sister with arrangements. Small service, just family and a few close friends. It was exactly what Mom would have wanted, simple and intimate. Riley was supposed to fly down that morning to be there with me. Instead, I woke up to a text from her. Food poisoning, can't leave the bathroom, babe, I'm so sorry, I love you so much. I was disappointed but understood. These things happen. I told her to rest and feel better, that I'd see her when I got back to Seattle. The service was beautiful. Hard but beautiful. We were at the graveside for the final part, listening to the pastor say the closing words. That's when my phone vibrated in my pocket. I shouldn't have looked, but I did. Riley, hey, can you grab wings and nachos on your way back? Also, can your morning stuff wait a bit? I'm hosting a watch party tonight, the living room's a mess. I read it 3 times while the pastor was still speaking. Wings and nachos, morning stuff, wait a bit. My mom's casket was literally being lowered into the ground. I didn't respond, just put my phone away and tried to focus on saying goodbye to my mother. But those words kept echoing in my head the entire drive back to Seattle. When I got home around 8 p.m., I could hear the music before I even got to my floor. I unlocked the door and walked into what looked like a frat party. There were 6 or 7 people I'd never seen before sprawled across my furniture. Beer cans everywhere, pizza boxes, chicken wing containers on my coffee table. One guy was literally using my kitchen counter as a beer pong table. Riley came out of the bedroom wearing the dress I'd bought her for her birthday. She was laughing at something someone said, drink in hand, looking like she didn't have a care in the world. Perfect timing. She said when she saw me, "We're out of tequila. Can you do a quick run to the liquor store?" I just stood there, still wearing my funeral suit. "I buried my mom today," I said. The room went quiet for about 2 seconds before Riley shrugged and said, "Yeah, and that's awful, obviously. But life doesn't just stop, Matt. My friends are here to distract me from all this heavy energy you've been putting out. You've been kind of a downer for like a week." I looked around at the mess, at these strangers in my home on the day I buried my mother, at Riley looking annoyed that I was ruining her vibe. "Get out," I said. Riley laughed. "Don't be weird, this is my place too. The lease has only my name on it. You moved in with a suitcase and a ring light. Get out." Then I pulled out my phone. She stopped laughing. "Who are you texting?" "Your dad," I said. I'd taken a screenshot of her morning stuff text and sent it to Mr. Adams with the message. "This is what your daughter texted me while I was at my mom's burial." Riley's face went white. "You can't just send private texts to my dad." "I already did," I said. Her friends were already grabbing their stuff and quietly leaving. One girl mumbled sorry for your loss on the way out. 20 minutes later, there was a knock on the door. Mr. Adams walked in, took one look at the beer cans and food containers everywhere, and his jaw tightened. "You threw a party," he said to Riley. "Today of all days." "Dad, it's not that deep. Everyone's overreacting." "Not that deep." His voice cracked. "You texted him about snacks and called his grief drama. After everything I told you about losing your uncle. About what that did to our family." I didn't know Mr. Adams had lost a brother. He turned to me. "I am so sorry, son. I raised her better than this. I thought I did." Then he looked back at Riley. "Grab your stuff. You're going home with me right now." "This is my home," Riley said, starting to cry. "He can't just kick me out." "I can," I said, "and I am." It took them 3 trips to get her things down to his car. Her clothes, her ring light setup, her entire influencer workspace. The whole time she kept looking at me like she was waiting for me to change my mind. I didn't say anything. I just held the door open. When they were gone, I closed the door, locked it, and finally let myself break down. I'd been holding it together all day, through the service, through the burial, through coming home to that nightmare. Now I just sat on my floor and cried for my mom. I spent the rest of the night cleaning up the mess from her party, found chicken wing sauce on my walls, beer spilled into my carpet, the apartment smelled like a bar. Now I'm lying in my bed trying to get some sleep but can't. Reddit, I'm just so freaking exhausted. Update 1. I thought after Riley left with her dad that would be the end of it. I was so wrong. The harassment started the next morning. Before I blocked her number, I woke up to texts like, "I hope you're happy, you've ruined my life, and my dad won't even speak to me because of what you did." I blocked her, thinking that would be it. Then her friends started, different numbers all day long. "How could you throw her out when she's grieving too? And you're a monster for using her dad against her." I blocked those too. But then it got weird. I started getting messages from numbers I didn't recognize, saying things like, "Riley told us what you did to her," and abusers like, "You always play the victim." I had no idea what they were talking about. I found out through a coworker who follows Riley on Instagram. She'd posted this long thing about finally escaping a controlling relationship and how grief is never an excuse for abuse. The comments were full of support. "So proud of you for leaving," and "You deserve better, queen." I felt sick reading it. She'd completely rewritten what happened. Then I got a call from my landlord. He said a woman claiming to be my girlfriend had contacted him, saying I was illegally subletting to her and she needed a key because I'd locked her out of her own home. He was suspicious because the lease clearly shows only my name, but he wanted to hear my side. I explained the situation, sent him the screenshot of the funeral text. He said, "Jesus Christ, kid, I'm sorry you're dealing with this. Don't worry, she's not getting a key." I thought that was bad. Then a former coworker from my old job reached out. "Hey man, I don't know what's going on with you and Riley, but she's been messaging people saying you got physical with her during an argument about your mom. Just wanted to give you a heads up." Physical. I have never laid a hand on her. Never even raised my voice until the night I kicked her out. I immediately started documenting everything, saving every text, every message, every attempt at contact. That's when Mr. Adams called me. "Matthew, I need to warn you. I overheard Riley on the phone talking about showing up at your workplace. I don't think she's going to stop." I took his advice and sent an email to my manager and HR. Just the facts. My girlfriend and I broke up. She's been harassing me and making false accusations. And if she shows up at the office, please have security handle it. My manager responded immediately saying they had my back. 3 days later, I walked out to my car in the parking garage and stopped dead. Someone had keyed it. Both sides, long deep scratches from front to back. On the hood, scratched in huge letters, "Liar." The parking garage has cameras. The footage shows someone in a hoodie, average height, doing the damage around 3 a.m. You can't see the face, but the build and the way they move. It looks exactly like Riley. I filed a police report. The officer was sympathetic but said without a clear face shot, there wasn't much they could do unless I had other evidence of harassment. I showed him everything. The texts, the social media posts, the landlord situation, the rumors she was spreading. He took notes and said to keep documenting. I barely slept that week. Every noise in the hallway made me jump. I kept checking my car before driving it, worried she'd done something else. I was constantly looking over my shoulder. Work became my only refuge. At least there I had security and witnesses. Then last Tuesday I was at my desk when I got a call from reception. "There's a woman here who says she's your girlfriend. Security is here too." My stomach dropped. I went down to the lobby and there she was. Riley, dressed up nice, hair and makeup perfect, holding a coffee in her hand. She smiled when she saw me. "Hey babe," she said like nothing had happened. "Can we talk somewhere private?" "We're not together," I said. "And you shouldn't be here." Her smile faltered. "I just want to talk 5 minutes, please." "No, leave." That's when she switched. The smile dropped completely. "Fine, then I'll tell everyone here what you're really like, controlling, isolating. My therapist says you're textbook abusive." "You don't have a therapist," I said. One of the security guards stepped forward. "Ma'am, you need to leave the premises." Riley looked around at the small crowd that had gathered at the security guards at me standing there with my arms crossed. She was losing control of the narrative and she knew it. "Hope your dead mom is proud of you," she said, and threw the coffee. The lid came off mid-air. Hot coffee hit my chest and neck, soaked into my shirt. I gasped from the shock of it, the heat. People around us were shouting. Security grabbed her arms, pulling her back. The whole thing was caught on camera, multiple angles. HR called me up to their office. They asked if I was okay, if I needed medical attention for any burns. I didn't, thankfully. Then they asked if I wanted to press charges. I'd been hesitant before. I kept thinking maybe this would blow over. But standing there with coffee-stained clothes and a burned neck, I realized this wasn't going to stop. "Yeah," I said, "I do." The police came and took my statement. They had the footage from the building. Combined with the car damage, the harassment campaign, everything else. The officer said I had a strong case for a restraining order. The thing is, I didn't post any of this publicly. I didn't make a big social media statement. But I did send the screenshots privately to a few mutual friends who'd been asking questions. Just a simple message. "Here's the full story before you pick a side." One of those friends, someone who'd been close with Riley for years, posted the funeral text screenshot on her own page. No tags, no names, just the caption. "If you can text this while someone's burying their mom, you are the problem." The comments figured it out fast. Riley's Instagram post about escaping abuse was flooded with people calling her out. She deleted everything and went private. The court date is next week. My lawyer says with the evidence we have, the restraining order is almost guaranteed. Mr. Adams has agreed to testify about what he saw and heard. I never wanted it to get this far. I just wanted to grieve my mom in peace. But Riley turned my life into a war zone, and now I have to fight back to get my life back. I'm exhausted. I miss my mom. And I'm so angry that instead of being able to mourn her, I've spent the past 2 weeks defending myself against someone who was supposed to love me. Update 2. The hearing was yesterday. I barely slept the night before, kept running through everything in my head, worried I'd forgotten something important or that somehow the judge wouldn't believe me. I didn't need to worry. My lawyer brought everything, and I mean everything. The funeral text with timestamps, the security footage from my office building showing Riley throwing hot coffee at me, the parking garage footage of someone matching her description keying my car, screenshots of the harassment campaign, the landlord's statement about her trying to get a key to my apartment, testimony from coworkers about the rumors she'd been spreading. Riley showed up with her own lawyer. She'd clearly been coached. Hair pulled back, minimal makeup, dressed conservatively. The whole "I'm the real victim here" aesthetic. When it was her turn to speak, she cried. Talked about how I'd emotionally manipulated her throughout our relationship, how I'd isolated her from her friends and family, how I'd used my mother's death as a weapon to control her. It was a performance. A good one, too. If I didn't know better, I might have even believed her. Then my lawyer presented the evidence. You could see the exact moment Riley realized how screwed she was. Her lawyer had clearly not been told about the coffee incident. When my lawyer pulled the footage up, Riley's lawyer actually closed his eyes for a second. The judge read through everything in silence. When he finally spoke, his voice was cold. "Ms. Adams, I've been doing this job for 20 years. I've seen real victims of abuse, and I've seen people who weaponize the language of victimhood for their own purposes. The evidence here is clear. You deliberately harassed Mr. Ward during one of the most difficult times of his life. You made false accusations of abuse. You attempted to damage his professional reputation and his housing situation, and you did it all with calculated intent." He granted the permanent restraining order. 5 years. Riley is not allowed to contact me, come near my home or workplace, or communicate about me on social media. As we were leaving the courtroom, Riley tried one more time. She looked right at me and said, "I really did love you." I didn't respond. My lawyer had told me not to engage, but honestly, I didn't have anything to say to her anymore. Later that evening, Mr. Adams texted me. "It's done. She's moving to Texas to live with her mother next week. I think distance is best for everyone." I felt this weird mix of relief and exhaustion. It was over. Actually over. I won. I got the restraining order, she's moving away, the harassment has stopped. But my mom is still gone. Winning this legal battle doesn't bring her back. It doesn't give me back the time I should have spent grieving instead of defending myself. I'm angry that I didn't get to mourn my mother properly. I'm angry that the day I buried her, instead of being surrounded by people who loved her, I came home to a party. I'm angry that my last memory of that day is cleaning chicken wing sauce off my walls instead of sitting with my family and sharing stories about her. Riley took that from me. Even with the restraining order, even with her moving to another state, she took those first weeks of grief from me and I can't get them back. My dad and sister have been incredible. They call every few days. Last weekend, we all cooked Mom's famous lasagna recipe together over video chat. Dad said something that stuck with me. Your mom would be proud of how you handled this. You protected yourself. Work has been understanding too. My manager gave me 2 weeks of paid bereavement leave, starting next Monday. I'm going to spend it in Oregon with my dad and sister, finally having the time to grieve that I should have had from the start. I cleaned out the bedroom last week. Riley's stuff has been gone for a while, but there were still these little reminders everywhere. I packed it all up and Mr. Adams picked it up. That was hard, not because I miss her, but because I'm mourning what I thought we had. Yesterday, I got a text from an unknown number. I'm sorry for everything. I was wrong. I hope you forgive me someday. I stared at it for hours. Part of me wanted to respond, to tell her exactly how much damage she'd done, how she'd turned the worst time of my life into a nightmare. Part of me wanted to just delete it and move on. In the end, I took a screenshot for documentation, then blocked the number. She violated the restraining order by contacting me. I forwarded it to my lawyer. Let her deal with the consequences. I've started looking at new apartments. Not because I have to, but because this place has too many memories now. The couch where her party guests sat. The kitchen counter they used for beer pong. The bedroom where I woke up to that text on the morning of my mom's funeral. I want somewhere fresh. Somewhere Riley never set foot. Somewhere I can start over. My mom kept this little tradition where every Sunday she'd make banana bread and we'd have coffee together, just the two of us. She called it our Sunday morning peace. I haven't made banana bread since she died. This Sunday I'm going to try. I found her recipe card in a box of things Dad sent me. It has her handwriting on it, little notes in the margins like extra vanilla makes it better, and don't forget to let it cool. I'm going to make her banana bread and have my Sunday morning peace. I'm not okay yet, but I will be. And for the first time in weeks, I actually believe that. Edit. The apartment I'm looking at is in a different neighborhood, 3 floors up, lots of natural light, and a kitchen big enough for Sunday banana bread. I'm seeing it next week. Fresh starts are scary, but I think I'm ready. Final update. I almost didn't write this update because honestly, I've been trying to just move forward and put this whole chapter behind me. But I've gotten a lot of DMs asking how things turned out, so here we are. The short version, I'm okay. Actually okay, not just saying it. The longer version is more complicated. First, the Riley situation. She violated the restraining order twice after the hearing. Not that I was surprised. The first violation was that text I mentioned in my last update. I forwarded it to my lawyer immediately. He filed it with the court the next day. The second violation came about 3 weeks later. I was at work when I got a notification that someone had tried to add me on Facebook. New account, fake name, Rachel Anderson, fake profile picture that she probably picked out randomly on Pinterest. I knew it was her instantly when she sent a message request. Please just hear me out. I didn't open it. I screenshotted everything and sent it straight to my lawyer. Both violations landed Riley back in court. She showed up with her lawyer again, tried to claim the text was closure and the Facebook thing was an accident. I didn't realize it would notify him. The judge wasn't buying it. Ms. Adams, you were given a clear order. No contact means no contact. Not through text, not through social media, not through any means. The next time you appear before me for violating this order, you will spend 30 days in jail. Do I make myself clear? Riley nodded, crying. Her lawyer looked like he wanted to be anywhere else. The judge added a note to the restraining order. Any further violations would result in immediate arrest, no warnings. Since then, nothing. It's been completely silent for almost 5 months now. Mr. Adams still checks in occasionally. He apologized again last month, said he feels like he failed as a parent. I told him that's not on him. We're all responsible for our own choices, and Riley made hers. He appreciated that, I think. He mentioned she's still in Texas, working at some restaurant. I didn't ask for details. I moved into the new apartment in January. 3 floors up, lots of windows, completely different neighborhood from where Riley and I lived. The first night I slept there, I woke up in the middle of the night and just felt relief. Nobody knew this address except people I trusted. It was mine, only mine. I made my mom's banana bread recipe that first Sunday in the new place. Burned it completely because I forgot to set a timer. Tried again the next week and it was perfect. Now it's become this thing I do. Every Sunday morning, banana bread and coffee, sitting by the window. My Sunday morning peace, just like Mom and I used to have. I've reconnected with some friends I'd lost touch with. Riley never explicitly isolated me, but I realize now how much of my social life had become about her and her circle. Going out with my own friends again, doing things I actually enjoy instead of standing around at parties where everyone's taking Instagram photos, it's been eye-opening. Dating has been complicated. I went on a few dates in March. Nice people, nothing wrong with them, but I kept feeling like I needed to vet them to look for red flags to protect myself. There was one woman, Sharon, I went out with a few times. 4th date, we're having dinner and she asks about my family. I tell her about my mom passing away last year. She gets quiet and then says, "I'm so sorry. That must be incredibly hard. Do you want to talk about her or would you rather not?" I almost cried right there in the restaurant. Such a simple thing, asking what I needed instead of assuming. We've been seeing each other for about 6 weeks now, taking it slow, being honest about where I'm at. She gets it. My dad sold the house in Oregon. Too many memories, he said. He and my sister moved to a smaller place closer to her work. We still do Sunday video calls. Sometimes we cook together, sometimes we just talk, sometimes we sit in comfortable silence. They're coming to visit next month. First time seeing the new apartment. I still have Mom's watch on my desk at work. Little vintage Timex with a leather band, the kind nobody wears anymore. It stopped working about 3 years before she died and she never got it fixed, just kept it in her nightstand drawer. I had it repaired and now it keeps perfect time. Every time I check it, I think about her. Not in a sad way anymore, just remembering. This is probably my last update. There's nothing left to say about Riley. She's gone from my life completely now. That chapter is closed. What's next? I'm going to keep making banana bread on Sundays. Keep climbing. Keep building a life that's mine, free from people who only care about me when it's convenient for them. I'm going to honor my mom by living the kind of life she'd be proud of. Not perfect, not without mistakes, but authentic and strong and kind. That's enough. Thanks for following this story, everyone.